everybody doing tonight? You guys doing good?
Good.
Well, I'm happy to be here, get to share with you for a few minutes. I'm definitely not going to take up the full 15 minutes because I would much rather connect with you guys and ask if you guys have any questions. So again, like Zach said, my name is Shelton. I am the founder and the owner of Limelife Media. We are a digital solutions agency. And in a nutshell, what that means is we build digital solutions that grow businesses. So again, we are a digital solutions agency. So within those three little words, I want you to really focus on the operative word being solutions here. Because therein lies the juxtaposition between who we are and what we do and what our digital marketing competitors do and who they are and what they're about. So some people confuse us as being really more of a marketing agency. And while it's true that we do offer digital marketing services, I wouldn't categorize us as a digital marketing agency. I say that because, as I'm sure most of you are aware, marketing is not always the solution to your problem. So let me say that again. Marketing is not always the solution to your problem. Case in point, as a business owner, when you experience a roadblock that is preventing your ability to grow or to build your business, how many of you say, wow, you know what I could really use right now? Some more marketing. Does anybody in here who owns a business, is that your first thought when you run into a problem with your business is, I need more marketing? It's kind of like Will Ferrell in the show when he says, I need more cowbell, right? Like, you don't really need more cowbell, you may not need more marketing. Depending upon where you're at and what your issues are, that may come a little bit further down the road. So no one thinks like that is the point. Instead, most people think, I have a problem, I have an issue, I need a solution, I need someone who can help me fix this. And that is the line in the sand that I've chosen to draw between how others operate their digital marketing agency and how we operate our digital solutions agency. So how we choose to take a step, or where other agencies choose to focus more on a narrow way of thinking and limited ability to problem solve issues, we choose to take a step back and look at possibilities for how we can help our clients grow and build and scale their business. And this is the key. We do it from the inside out. As opposed to just focusing in on the external, on the marketing aspects, we take an inside out approach to that. So to put this another way, most digital marketing agencies, at least in my experience, they take your business problems and then they try to fit your problems into the mold of the solutions that they have. Whereas we, on the other hand, take an insights-driven, diagnose, and prescribe approach that at the end of the day delivers tailored to your business solutions that solve and fix your unique problems as a business. This is why I always respond to the typical question of, what services do you offer with what problems do you have? I say that because me rattling off a long list of different services like websites, sales funnels, graphic design, marketing automation, branding and identity, consulting, etc., does nothing to actually speak to your problem. Instead, it causes you, as a client, to become even more overwhelmed as your eyes begin to glaze over and boredom begins to set in. So ultimately, what we do is we provide tailored to your business digital solutions that help you generate more revenue, increase your productivity, and remove those annoying technical headaches that you're probably struggling with. That way you can focus in on doing what you do best, which is growing your business. So if you'd like to build, grow, automate, and scale your business, I'd love to talk with you after this event. And now that you know a little bit about Limelife Media, I'd love to know if any of you guys have any questions. If not, I have a few different case studies that we can talk about, whichever direction you guys would like to go. Yeah.
This may be impossible to answer in this form, but that's it anyway. If somebody's looking to launch a new product or business and they come to you and say, I got $5,000 all in to help with this launch to get that first initial boost, either what questions are you asking to get to their need, or where did your mind go first as far as solutions you're going to explore for that type of
Well, I would say for that, when you say product or service, that can range from different things. I mean, you could be talking about e-commerce, or you could talk about consulting. There's a wide range of different things from a product and service perspective. So again, that's where, for me, I would start diving deeper into what is your product, what is it you're trying to accomplish? Because even 5,000 is a pretty limited budget to get things going, especially if you're in the e-commerce space, because then you're going to be talking about pay-per-click advertising and things like that. So again, for something like that, it would really involve more diving deeper down into what are the goals and then setting milestones. Because a lot of times, in my experience, people will set very lofty goals with a limited amount of resources, and that's where I have to say, okay, let's set this as where we want to be, a year down the road. But for right now, with the amount of resources that you have, let's keep the expectations realistic and set appropriate milestones according to that. Does that answer your question?
It does, yeah, thanks.
Okay, cool. Yes,
So
sir.
tell me about you. How did you, what's your background? How did you start? Why did you start this?
So my background is I come from the corporate world. I worked for a large mortgage company, and that ended in middle of last year. And it was kind of at that point where I decided there's a notion that I think that people have where they say, if I'm working in corporate, if I have this job, even if I'm adding a ton of value, it's a safety net, right? But in reality, and as I learned the hard way, that's not actually the case. It doesn't matter how much value. I mean, for me personally, through some of the stuff that I built for the mortgage company I worked with, I helped generate over 50 million in loan origination leads. So regardless of the value that you're adding, if a business is running into issues or they're bottlenecking in certain areas, or if you fall within the purview of a specific team that they're cutting, then your security goes out the window. And that's where, for me, I decided, okay, this is time where I want to take charge of my own life. I want to empower myself. I want to do and work with the people that I want to work with, and I want to develop a company that's founded on what I feel like are my core values. So character, honesty, integrity, trust. Those are the main things for me that I want to build, and those are the types of companies. I've said no to people because I said, you're not a good fit. Of course, I'm not going to say that to their face as far as, if I think that they're shady or they're, like I've had some people come to me and they want to do like the multi-level marketing type stuff, the MLM stuff. And I say, I don't believe in that. I can't help you. Because if I don't believe, just like for you, if you don't believe in somebody's product, are you going to buy it? No. So for me, it's the same way. If I don't believe in what it is that you do, the service that you offer, I know that deep down, I'm not going to be able to help you. And even if I could, that's not the direction. That's not why I got into this. So that's a little bit about my background. Yes, sir.
Without any names or attribution, or anything, can you give us some of your case studies of how you've helped somebody?
Sure. So I actually I have 4 different ones. I kind of picked 4. Again, my company I just started at the beginning of this year in January, so it is still fairly new, but I'll give you a few of the different ones. So right now I'm working with a nonprofit, I'm working with a different mortgage and lending company, I'm working with a large church, and we just got done building a website for a salon and day spa. But to back up a little bit, there's a nonprofit that we're working with. It's called Young Audiences of Virginia. And they came to me and they said, hey, we really want a website. Our website sucks. We need to fix this problem. Because who they're serving is not actually their target market. Their actual target market is donors, right? So that's who they need to be appealing to. And so in their mind, they think, well, we need to get a new website, which is true. But the more that we started diving down into it, we started realizing that that was an external issue, but they had some internal ones too, where they had problems onboarding volunteers, for example. They had problems being able to collect and aggregate volunteer stories, which those are the stories they use to create this compelling content that's going to connect with donors, which is going to bring more money in the door for them and keep their doors open. So all of that process was manually done. They had multiple people that were working on that. And I developed a process that we're implementing right now that's essentially going to remove the human touch aside from them having to run a background check. And then that way we're going to automate that entire process. We're going to set up a short little mini course for people to get onboarded to. They're going to have to go through, take a test to actually become a volunteer. And then once they do, they're going to be able to go and fill out a form for the volunteer sheets. And then that way the organization can go through and easily filter and aggregate all that information. And it's done in a way that's consistent across the board. Because right now they essentially have a thick stack of paper that they have to sort through. So not only are they having to do the manual touch with the actual volunteers and training them, they're also having to do the manual touch with actually sorting through handwritten, and I don't know how your handwriting is, but mine's pretty shoddy. So it's a difficult challenge for them. One other quick example is the mortgage company that I'm working with. And so for them, we're focusing in on integrating in their sales CRM. So they just updated their system and they switched from who they were with to, I think it's Velocify now. And so we're working on integrating that in with other lead and sales systems in their website. And then the other cool thing is I'm developing it's a platform where they can essentially one-click and it'll automatically create and deploy mini sites for their loan officers, which is really cool because for the companies that I've seen, the other mortgage companies, they don't have that. Typically, what a mortgage company will have is a single loan officer page. And so their ability to say, hey, we can attract top talent. If you come with us, we can offer you your own actual site. And that is something that's going to help them attract more salespeople, and it's going to create better engagement for their users. So there's a few other things too, but those are two of the kind of highlights that we're working on with them. So does that answer your?
Yeah, thanks.
Any other questions? Yes,
So
sir.
you take a business and make it better? Is that a very simple statement?
Yeah, that's
you
the
have a
good.
big picture of strengths and weaknesses. You have an overall
Yes.
symbiotic relationship in a company, and you can look at it and say, these are your weaknesses, this is what you should improve to improve bottom line.
Exactly. That's a part of it. That's more the consulting role, and then there's the actual implementation and execution of the strategy that we lay out. But that's something I was talking to John about prior to this, is the fact that a lot of marketing agencies focus purely on the external, or even creative agencies, or even social media agencies. They focus purely on the external, and then they leave internal issues that are still there. And so if we can optimize these internal processes, if there's issues there, and then focus on the external, not only are you making money by saving money on the internal stuff, but now we're creating this snowball effect where we're also increasing revenue through the external as well. So that's really why I call it a digital solutions agency, not necessarily a digital marketing agency.